Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for showing up at the L.O.U. We appreciate having you guys. We appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, listening, however you guys are here. Today we have Ben Howard. He's one of my best friends. He's been a friend for a long time. He was in my youth group. I've watched him grow up a little bit in the last, I'd say 10 years or so, a little bit over. And it's absolutely amazing to be able to have him on my first podcast. And I can't wait to have so much more. He has a lot of things to share with us today. I'm going to go through some questions with him and just have a conversation about life, because that's what we're here.
Check. Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Trevor, and this is what's going on in the life of you. Hello and welcome. We are here at the L.O.U. and we are here to interview different people just like me and you. They're going through life. We'll talk about faith, family, friends, the lack of any of those, and all the stories that make us who we are. Thanks for joining.
All right. Welcome to the L.O.U. This is Trevor Holt, and this is Ben Howard, my wonderful guest. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's one of my best. And we are here to dive into his life and see what kind of wisdom he can share with us. So we did start this episode already. We went through about 30 minutes and realized that we had some issues going on. So we've tried to fix those technical difficulties. We're going to start over. So if a little bit seems a little rehearsed, it might be. But we'll see where the good Lord takes us. All right. So Ben, let's start with who you are. First time he made a mistake, and he told me who all the people said that he was, or people thought who he was. Like, this is what people think about me. And I said, well, I don't want to know about that. Instead, I want to know about who Ben Howard is. So we talked about that a little bit, and maybe you'll get the other side of it now. If not, we'll see. What you got, Ben?
Who am I? It's a deep question. It's a deep question if you allow yourself to think deep.
Yeah.
Because many times when you ask somebody who they are, they bring a surface level question and they want a surface level answer.
Yeah.
It's deep because it identifies you to who you are, and you can't lie about that. So
that's true.
I guess who I am is a guy trying to find who he is.
Mm.
And in that daily search, I believe you pick apart maybe the lies you tell yourself, the truths you know about yourself. For instance, a truth that I know about myself is I love the gym. I love fitness. I love everything about it. I love talking about it. I love bringing someone else to the gym and getting a great workout in, and then we're both sore, and it's like we're living the same experience. I know that's the truth about me. A lie that I tell myself all the time is I'm okay. And when I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And so to ask who am I'm not even 100% sure who I am.
Yeah.
But I am 100% sure that I daily search who that is. And on that journey, people may change in my life. Things may change. Circumstances, well, they're always going to change.
For sure.
So to ask who I am, I'm a guy searching for me.
I'm a guy searching for me. So in 2024, we've talked about it on the last effort that we tried to do this talk.
Yeah.
We talked about, since you've now said this is who I am, I'm a man trying to find out who I am.
Yeah.
Trying to find me. In 2024, we've talked about the standards and goals that you are chasing after.
Yes.
and what the correlation between those are. So to catch everybody else up, let's go through that and tell me a little bit about your process there.
So back in September, I had a moment with myself that I realized no one's going to save me out of this.
Yeah.
Out of this person of who I've become. A hard lesson was, having a kid, it brings so much joy to my life. My daughter's amazing. I would give up a lot for her. I almost said anything, but yet I still know that I'm selfish.
Yeah.
And so I think setting standards is something that reading The Power of One More, that book, I can't emphasize enough how great that book is.
Yeah.
It changed. I started reading that book, dude. It just started changing everything in my life.
Yeah.
It started changing my perspective of my friends. It started changing the perspective of me as a man, of how I want to hold myself, my standards. So I wrote my standards up on my mirror. And I wrote my standards of, you're going to go to the gym an hour a day. You're going to read. You're going to start your day off positive. So I started setting these standards in return so that I could reach my goals. I mean, if I set a goal, I'm going to finish this book, but I didn't have a standard that I'd read a book at least an hour a day, I would have never finished the book.
Yeah.
Because the standards are the stepping stones to reaching your goal. And so in your journey of whatever your goal is, you have to set those constant standards so that even if you fail, tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah.
There's your standard. And so many people, when they have a goal, it's so far. In 6 months, I want to be weight. I want to look this good. I want to have these abs. I want to be eating this. I want to be traveling here. So many people set that in 6 months that when they fail on month 1, 2 times, there's no way I'll get to 6 months. Because I failed twice and it's only the first month. And it's like, well, if you had standards set in place, then you would realize, be like, well, yeah, you might have failed Tuesday, but you've been on a 16-day streak. So recalibrate, refocus, look at your standards, write them down, and say, tomorrow's a new day. And so day 17, out of 17 days, you've missed 1. Out of 30 days, let's say it's 2 a month, you've missed 2 out of 30, or whatever the month falls on. And so when you start looking at it like that, goals become a lot more attainable.
Yeah.
They become a lot more personable, and you can reach them because you've set those standards.
That's a very good point. So for goals, you have some, I'm sure, set for 2024. But let's start with standards. Let's start with your standards that you've set for 2024.
So I set these standards in October of 2023. And the reason why they translate into 2024 is because I'm still chasing that guy.
Yeah.
I'm still chasing the guy who I want to be. And so the standards I set was I have to read at least an hour a day. I'm kind of between 2 books right now, but I'm kind of reading them both. Another standard I set in October was I got to go to the gym for an hour a day because I want to be fit. I want to be able to do activities with my daughter as she gets older. I want to stay fit, stay healthy. If she, God forbid, wants to do track and she's like, Dad, I want to go run a marathon. At that age, I'm going to be a lot older, so I got to make sure I maintain. And then I just want to be healthy and mentally, emotionally. And with that, one of my standards is I start my day off positive. I don't think I've started a day off since October negative. Have I ended negative? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wake up in the morning, I go into the bathroom, and on my mirror, it says, start your day off positive. Love the process. I wrote love the process so much bigger than anything else because you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy the process.
Yeah,
and that's why a lot of people get burnt out because they're thinking that the joy is at the end. Well, if the joy is at the end, then that one day that you reach your goal, you've been miserable for those 6 months. So it's like, is the payoff worth it? And so you want to set standards that align with your your joys in life, and because that is how you'll get to the goal. Is you're loving the process every step of the way. Setting a goal that I want to have a six pack and be fit and be able to run marathons is easy for me because I love going to the gym. I love the process. I've never really been a reader. I don't read a lot of books ever. And so setting a goal that I want to read an hour, it's still joyful to me because I want to be more knowledgeable. And I know it's obtainable because I've been doing it. And so these little lies that we tell ourselves, you're never going to get fit. Your body's not meant for it. You're not this. It's like, hey, where's your standards at? Well, I don't really have standards. What are you doing this weekend? I'm going to go to a restaurant Saturday with my buddies. We're just going to have beers and drinks. Well, you set a standard there.
Yeah.
You scheduled a standard for Saturday to go have beers and wings with your buddies and stuff like that. And so why can't you do it today? And so, we get these checks and balances of things that we enjoy but we know have no benefit. And so in life, that's a lot of what that is, what are your goals? Okay, then what's the process to get there? And that's your standards. And you don't way off your standards. And yeah, you're going to mess up. People mess up all the time. No one's perfect. But you strive to maintain a perfect track. That way, even if you do waver or get off that, you know where you're supposed to be and you can get back on.
That's a very good point. One of the things you said that really stuck out to me, there's a couple of them, but I want to hit this one first. The joy is not at the end. And you're talking about enjoying the process. And you're like day one, day two, day three. And it was really circled around a short point of time. How does that reflect with life? Because think about that.
No, that's good.
Because what really hit me in that truth is that, man, we're always in a hurry to get everything done. We're always in a hurry. It's like kids, hey, I'm busy. Hold on. I got this I got to take care of. I got these goals I got to reach. I got these standards I got to get done. I got all this stuff. And it's all on this long-term goal of where we're trying to get, right? We have this big goal, this big American dream that this is what I need to get. Not saying those are bad things. Not saying they're bad standards or goals. But how often do we miss out, in your opinion, on the joys all around us every single day, every single moment, because we're so focused on the end goal, when at the very end of it all, because I'm looking at my life, I'm 35, 36 years old, and as I'm chasing through this life, I'm looking at my 13-year-old girl, right, my oldest, and I'm going, man, she's like her own woman now. Like, she's stepping into this womanhood, and I'm like, this is my little girl, man. Like my youngest right now, Emery, who I could just pick up, and she's always in love with daddy. She loves daddy and all that stuff. Things are changing, right? But all the myths I've been focusing on, this is all the things I have to reach, right? I've had my eyes out there. And it really hit me with that. When do we stop focusing on that big picture, whatever we're going for, and enjoy the process, enjoy the ride as we get there? What does that mean to you?
I guess I would imagine your daughter coming up to you, my daughter coming up to me and saying, Dad, are you happy? What are the first things that come to your mind? Because they're not wanting anything from you. Like they're sincerely asking you, are you happy? And in my life, there's many times in my life that my daughter has been laying with me and says, Daddy, I love you. And it's like, what am I stressed about? Yeah. What am I dealing with that whenever she says it, it just, the weight of whatever just kind of falls off me. And the key, I believe, is to really evaluate what makes you happy and that's why you do it, or what makes someone else happy and that's why you do it. Because a lot of times in life, we're trying to find our happiness, but it's because it's going to benefit us in a certain way. It's going to move us up in maybe a company. It's going to build a relationship with someone that doesn't really have the best out for us, but it's going to put us in a better situation for something we want. So, I mean, what is happiness? That would be my question is, in life, what happiness are you searching for? Like, for me, my happiness and my joy is knowing I'm benefiting, uh, being a better man every day by trying to be truthful with myself, by setting my standards, so that's why I can enjoy the process. But why are you enjoying the process? And that's what I would ask anyone who's listening is like, why are you doing the things that you're doing? And if you're not enjoying them and you're not, and why are you doing them? I mean, some things you got to do that you don't enjoy. You got to go to work some days that you don't want to go to work. You still have to go to work. But other things you know that you're doing doesn't make you happy, but you're still doing them. Why? And for me, trying to find joy, I try to take out as much of that stuff in my life. So things like my daughter saying, "Daddy, I love you," is things I look forward to. And I don't have to miss that opportunity because I'm so stressed about something else. So find the things that are simple like that and bring so much joy in your life, and then just try to get as much of that as you can and push everything else to the side, all the drama, all work, and all that stuff. And that's, I believe, the way to have a happy life is simple things like that. Get those more. Spending time with your kids. That's easy. And going after that. And stop worrying about all this quote unquote busy stuff, because at the end of the day, in 10 years, your kids are going to remember the things that you did with them, not that house you went and had to do lawn work at. They're going to remember dad time. And so value those things. And then, maybe take some of that happiness and joy and stuff into your work, because you're there more than you are, at your own house. Yeah. So be joyful wherever you can possibly be.
For sure. So as you're talking, like, all these questions just keep flooding my head. So I'm like, man, I can go here, I can go here, I can go here. I'm going to try to go wherever
I'm all
I can.
over the place right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, just to help us, the listeners, us, myself, like, truly grow into who we want to become. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who we were created to be in this life, to become that person. I think a lot of these things are things we all question, right? Yeah. And none of us have all the answers, but together we can all really help each other grow and become who we're supposed to be.